Hi, besties. Welcome back to the Bestie Talk podcast. I'm your host, Kianna J, and today I'm so excited. We're going to be doing an Ask Your Bestie segment today. I haven't done one of these episodes in so long, but something just kept telling me I needed to do this or a karma episode, which I want to do like a full episode on karma, but I'm going to be talking a little bit about karma because I already looked at some of your guys' questions and somebody asked about karma. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to do my whole spiel, but I'm going to talk a little bit about karma today. So I'm really excited because karma's just been heavy on my mind lately. So we're going to get right into today's episode. The very first question that I have is, do I cut baby daddy off cold and be a bitch? You gave me clarity in the past, but I'm still here. So what she's talking about when she says clarity is, like I said in last week's episode, I am a reader and I do help with some spiritual guidance. So I have given her readings and I've helped her spiritually to be able to be like, hey, this is something that you need to do. And let me just say this, okay? If your baby daddy is not actively helping you with your children, if they are not actively in your child's life and actually doing things for your child, and you have to make them do the things for their child or make them provide for their child or whatever the case may be, then just cut them off cold turkey. Okay. Because the only reason why it shouldn't be cold turkey, like when I say cold turkey, I'm talking no phone calls, no text messages, blocked on everything, blah, like the whole nine. The only reason it shouldn't be like that is if he's an amazing father and if he's always there for his kids and he is just in their lives consistently, especially if they're little children. Like if they need you to be able to facilitate communication between the dad, then you should not be cutting him off cold turkey in the sense of communication. When, yes, you should be cutting him off completely from you, from your energy, from your sexual energy, from a relationship with you. When, yes, you should be cutting him off cold turkey. But in communication, no, because your child still needs you to facilitate some type of communication with them. I understand. Listen, I don't have any children. I can't come from the aspect of I know exactly what you're going through because I don't know exactly what you're going through. But I am a child of divorce. I am a child that comes from my parents being separated and quite literally hating each other. Okay. But my mom never, ever, 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 ever allowed her thoughts and her feelings about my biological father to come in between my relationship with him. Okay. That woman didn't even tell me the reason that they divorced until I was in high school and I was begging and begging and begging. And mind you, my mom didn't even tell me. Okay. It was my grandma who told me because I was begging and begging and begging because I was convinced I was the reason and I was the problem. And my grandma was finally like, no, you're not the fucking problem. He cheated. And I was like, oh, okay. That makes so much sense. But my mom, never ever put her feelings in between me and my biological father's relationship. She allowed my feelings and my thought process and everything that I deal with when it comes to my biological father to happen on its own. She never put herself in between that. And that's what you should be doing. I understand that your baby daddy is shit. Okay. If you're listening to this and you have a shit baby daddy, 9 times out of 10, they're shit. They're like horrible men. They're narcissistic. They're like the whole, stereotypical baby daddies. I get it. I get it 100%. But your feelings about him should not come between their relationship, your child and your baby daddy's relationship. And if that means that you can't block him, if that means that you do still have to have communication with him, and by communication I mean, hey, when are you picking up so and so, and when are we doing this, or did they needed to go to a doctor's appointment, whatever the case may be, that's what I'm talking about. And you can't allow your feelings of whatever happened in your guys' relationship to come in between your child and him. And if he wants to do that, if he wants to say, hey, I don't want to be there for my kids because they remind me too much of my baby mama and fuck my baby mama, then that's what the case is. That's him. He's doing it. But let me tell you this. A baby daddy is always going to say, you're the problem. You're the reason why they are not close with their children. So do not give them that reason. Don't give them that thing to say, hey, you're the reason, you're the problem. If you allow your feelings to come in between their relationship, he's going to use you as an excuse. He's going to use you as a scapegoat. Don't let that happen. Don't be that mother. Like when we do the Ask Your Besties segment, I want y'all to know I'm coming from a straight place of love. I love you guys with all my heart, but just because I love you does not mean I'm gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm gonna tell you straight the fuck up. Okay. So if you get your feelings hurt a little bit in today's episode, I love you. I'm just saying it like this because you need to wake up. Okay. We need the snapping of the fingers. We need to wake up and we need to realize he is not going to change. Okay. If you have a toxic baby daddy and you are in a relationship with them, or you have some type of dynamic, some sexual romantic relationship, and they are the same person since they were in the beginning with the same issues, they're never going to change. There is nothing you are waiting for. The waiting for change, the waiting for him to grow, the promises that he's going to change aren't real. They're not going to happen. Okay? I've never met a person that has been like, oh my God, my man completely changed, especially if there hasn't been some catastrophic event that has happened to them that has made the man change. Okay. You cannot change someone's core beliefs of who they are and how they act and who they are as a human being. Yes, you can change tendencies and yes, you can change habits. But if you cannot change and that person cannot change who they are deep down to their core, and you continuing to wait, you continuing to hold it off is just making it so much worse. Not only on you, but on your kids. Okay? That bullshit of I'm staying for the kids ain't real. Do not say I'm staying for the kids because those kids would be better off if you left, because them watching you be in pain, them seeing you in pain all the time, them seeing you get dragged through the mud and talk shit on and all of that, that's doing so much more damage than if you left and were a single parent. Trust me, as somebody who came from a single parent home. My mom was a single mom, okay? I saw that shit. And am I'm so glad that my mom got the courage and got up to be like, deuces, I'm out. I'm not staying with this man because he treats me like shit and whatever the case may be, okay? I'm glad that she did that because it taught me so much. I said it in another episode that I was randomly talking to my mom and I was like, I want you to know I'm so grateful that you left my bio dad when you did because you taught me an insane amount of self-love and self-worth. Like her doing that not only broke generational cycles, but it taught me so much about self-love and self-worth that I think if she would have stayed any longer, I would not have been able to learn those valuable lessons. So even when you're so scared and you don't know if you should leave your baby daddy or you don't know if you should leave that relationship, I want you to think about your child, but not in the aspect of, oh, I'm staying for my child. I need you to start thinking about it like I am leaving for my child. I am leaving to help them learn self-love and self-worth, because when you learn to have self-love and self-worth, you will be teaching your child to have it as well. And another thing too, if cutting your baby daddy off or cutting him off cold turkey or whatever is being a bitch, be the fucking bitch. Oh well, be the bitch. He's been the asshole for how long? He's been the dick, the cheater, the manipulator, the narcissist abuser for how long? Be the bitch. Be the fucking bitch. Be the cold-hearted bitch. Who cares? Who's he gonna tell you're the bitch to? His fucking family, his fucking friends? Go ahead. Because he already says it. He already thinks it. He already thinks you're the bitch. He already feels like you're the bitch. So wear the crown. That is like this new era that I'm in. If you think I'm a fucking bitch, if you think I'm a fucking villain, I am. I will be it. I will be it. I will wear the crown very proudly. That's totally okay, because the thing about it is they already think you are that. They already think you're the bitch. They already think you're the villain. So be it. Who gives a shit? Live your life how you are supposed to live it. Live your life how you need to live it, how you want to live it. Because the thing is, we say we want to leave these people. We say we want to leave these dynamics because you truly want to leave that. That's the reason why you're saying it. The reason why you feel it is because you actually want to do it. The only thing that is stopping you from actually leaving this toxic dynamic between your baby daddy or whoever the hell you're thinking about right now is the comfortability that you have with them. That is the only thing that's stopping it. But you actually want to. So start living your life the way you want to live it. And that's by leaving him and being like, fuck you, I'm out. So, yes, I would cut him off completely. Cut him off from your energy, cut him off from your sexual energy, cut him off from everything. If you have young children, keep the communication line open. It is impossible for you to block your baby daddy if he is in your when I say if he is in your child's life, I'm talking as if he at least sees your kid once a week, okay? I know, bare fucking minimum. But if he at least sees your child once a fucking week or cares if they're sick or, just is around, then you should not be blocking your baby daddy, because your baby daddy and you need to be able to have open line of communication. God forbid something happens to your child, or God forbid something happens to your child's father. Okay? You need to have that line of communication open. I do not understand how there is so many. I hear it. A lot of baby mamas who are like, fuck my baby daddy, and blocking him, but he's at least around in the child's life. If this baby daddy is literally like out and you have not heard from him in years, he don't care about the kid, he's barely on the birth certificate, you don't even know where he stays at anymore. Yeah, that's fine. Block him. Whatever you got to do to make yourself feel better at night, because he's obviously doesn't care about this child. He obviously doesn't care about his seed. He doesn't care. So that's fine. Okay, but if he's seeing your kid at least once a week or talking to your kid at least once a week, it's wrong of you to block him, because trust me, they will use that against you in court. Okay, in court. And you don't want to go down that road. Do not be the bitter baby mama, because trust me, that road is even darker. Okay, our next question is how to get started with showing up for yourself as an adult. And I love this question. Like, for real, I love it so much, because it just tells me, like, I'm so proud of you for even thinking about that, for even being like, you know what, I need to start showing up for myself, because especially doing it as an adult, I think the main thing for me is doing what my inner child would have dreamed of. Okay. And whatever that is for you, if it's fucking coloring, if it's one of my new favorite things is scrapbooking. I loved crafts as a kid. I specifically did a lot of crafts with my mom and my grandma when I was really, really young. And I just, obviously, growing up, as you grow up and you don't have any more time for it, especially being an adult, I just did not have any more time for it, but I'm starting to take it up. And that is how I am showing up for myself, is by carving out time for the things that you want to do. Carve out the time. You have the time with whatever it is that you want to do. If it's working out, eating better, cooking meals at home, scrapbooking, taking up hobbies, going for walks, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever your soul is like, hey, that would be nice to do, you have the time to do it. You just need to actually carve the time out. So that is how you show up for yourself. Make the time in your schedule. If you have to wake up 15 minutes before you normally wake up, that's you showing up for yourself. So I want you to think about, if you would, as a child, right? If you wanted your parent to read you a bedtime story, okay, let's look at reading as an example. If you wanted your parent to read you a bedtime story, but that meant that they had to go to bed 15 to 20 minutes later than they normally would, but they did that. They sacrificed those 15 to 20 minutes to read you that bedtime story. You would have felt like, wow, my parent is really showing up for me. They really love me. They care about me. They sacrifice that for me. I feel so happy. You feel loved. You feel cared for. Correct? That is what you have to do for yourself. You have to sacrifice specific things for yourself. If it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes of your sleep, if it's 15, 20 minutes of you not watching TV, not scrolling on your phone, not doing whatever it is that we're talking about, you have to sacrifice that time. You have to carve out the time for yourself. You have to do it. That is the main way how you can show up for yourself. Another way that I like to show up for myself a lot is by sticking to my boundaries. And that's with anybody and everything, okay? It can be something so small. Even like the other day, I've been promising myself that I wanted to start working on open communication. I have such good open communication with my husband and with my best friend, but with other people or even other closer people to me, I still kind of struggle with it because I don't want to bring up, I'm like, oh my God, it's drama. I don't want to bring it up, or like nobody's got time for that, whatever the case may be. But that's something that has been on my mind. I really want to work towards. And holding myself accountable by actually talking to a friend of mine recently about something that triggered me earlier that week was a way for me to show up for myself that week, because it is helping me learn how to communicate a lot better, which is later going to help me down the road, being able to communicate about with other things, with other needs and wants that I have. And it's going to help grow my relationships, help grow me just as an individual. So that is how I also show up for myself on an everyday basis, is by sticking to my boundaries and keeping myself accountable with anything, with literally anything. Listen, holding yourself accountable is something really hard. It's something I still struggle with, but doing things like that really, really help. And it's how you can start slowly showing up for yourself as an adult. We're only going to be doing 3 questions today because I feel like this last question is a little loaded. And like I said, we're going to be talking about a little bit of karma today. So this question it's not really a question. It's more of a statement kind of, but I feel like I'm going to receive bad karma for cutting off all my family, parents, and friends. Why? Why do you feel like you are going to receive bad karma for cutting off your parents, family, or friends? I want you to look first before you answer that question, because I'm sure a lot of you guys struggle with this, because I struggled with it for a long time. I want you to look at, what did your parents do to you? What did your family do to you? What did your friends do to you to make you feel like you should cut them off in the first place? And I want you to actually think about it. List them. Because for me, I tend to allow time to heal a little too much. I allow time to help me forget a lot. And so I will find myself wanting to kind of cut somebody off, or wanting to kind of distance myself from somebody. But then as time goes on, I'm like, wait, no, I'm just going to keep having this relationship with them. And I kind of forget, why did I feel that itch to cut them off? And then I remind myself, oh, hey, they did this really shitty thing, or they were talking to me like that, or they were constantly being like this. And then it reminds me, kind of brings me back a little bit to reality, because sometimes time and busyness makes us forget, everything that's happened. And a lot of that happens from generational trauma. Especially, we see that a lot in Hispanic families, of just pushing things under the rug, and we allow time to make us forget and make us kind of heal, quote unquote, and just, forget and move on, and let's not hash things up, and whatever, we're just going to forget about it. That's a very constant thing in Hispanic families. So it comes up in our everyday life, and you don't even maybe realize that that's happening to you. And that's not just Hispanic families. I see that in every family, but it's a very prominent in Hispanic families. And you need to take a second, think about, what did they do to me that made me feel like I need to cut them off? And then now that you're thinking about it, now that you're probably riled up and you're probably pissed the fuck off and you're like, yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. They did me dirty. They did this. They did that. I want you to think back to the original question or the original statement of I feel like I'm going to receive bad karma for cutting these people off. These people that did me dirty, did me wrong. I feel like I'm going to receive bad karma from cutting them off. You will not receive bad karma from setting a boundary and sticking up for yourself and choosing yourself. You will never receive bad karma for that because you're choosing yourself. And that is the first step of healing. If you have to also think that family, friends, especially family, like parents and all that, and the whole cutting off, especially family and like parents, they're going to use karma or guilt to really guilt trip you into being like, oh, what, you're not going to talk to me anymore? Oh, what, you're going to cut me off? Or what, you're not going to talk to your family? That's so fucked up. You don't talk to your dad? That's so fucked up. Like blah, 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 all of that, right? Or that whole, oh, I feel so sorry for you. You don't talk to your mom. You don't talk to your dad. You cut them off. Like what? You're not going to receive any bad karma from that because you are growing and healing from the trauma that they already put on you. If anything, you taking that step and cutting them off is actually going to give you so much more. If you know you're not going to receive no bad karma, baby girl, you are going to be receiving some good ass karma. Okay. Once you'll be amazed at what happens when you cut people off that are toxic in your life and all the blessings that come in right after. You will be amazed. And when that happens, that is a huge sign from the universe telling you, hey, they were a huge, gigantic blockage. Karma is something that is very complex that I really want to do a full episode on. So I'm not going to go too deep into it, but karma comes around when it needs to come around. Karma is on her own clock. Okay? She's on her own set of rules. She's on her own thing. Do not overthink it. If it's something that feels good to you, it's something that is going to give you more than what it's going to take. Okay? So if cutting somebody off is going to give you more than what it's going to take, then you will not be receiving bad karma. And it's something that you should move forward with. And when I say it's going to give you more than what it's going to take, yes, it's going to hurt your heart and hurt your soul by removing these people that mean a lot to you. Like, let's face it, a parent is a lot. Family is a lot. Friends, it's a lot. Those are people that were very big pillars in your life. And it's going to hurt and it's going to fucking suck. And you're going to feel like you're losing. You're going to kind of feel a little empty and a little sad and a little depressed. That's normal. That's somebody that was really big in your life. But what you are getting in return from that, if that is more, if the freedom, the happiness, the joy, the positivity, the lack of negativity in your life, the lack of darkness, the lack of anxiety, all of that, if that adds up to more, even a little bit more, because in that moment it's going to hurt. Okay. When we cut them off, it fucking hurts. But if it adds up to more than keeping them in your life, then that is what you should be doing. Using my biological dad as an example, it fucking hurts to not have that man in my life. It hurts to not have my father in my life. It hurts to not know what's going on with him, to not be able to share my life with him, and to have that wound that aches and that is empty and that it fucking hurts, right? But what I get from not having him in my life is a little bit more. It's that freedom. It's that lack of anxiety. It's that positivity, because he was always somebody that could be really negative about certain dreams or aspirations that I had. Okay, it can be the fact that I'm not being manipulated anymore. I'm not being used for not only my money, but anything that I can offer. That adds up so much more than the aching hole of my dad not being in my life. And I'm never going to say that cutting somebody off is going to be fucking easy or that it's not going to hurt, because bitch, it's going to hurt, and it's going to hurt hard, and it's going to suck. It's going to suck, even if it's something minor, even if it's, just a little friend or a best friend or a family member, whatever the case may be. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt because that person meant something to you for so long, for a minute. And it's going to suck, but you're going to be able to get over it. You're going to be able, and when I say get over it, I don't mean that it's never going to hurt again, that wound is never going to open again, because it will, but it's not going to hurt as much as the first time. I appreciate you guys. Putting in your questions. I know that there was more questions that wanted to be answered, but I wanted to do these 3 because I felt like they were really well-rounded. I think that you guys could, even if they weren't your questions, you could definitely gain and feel something from each one of these questions, because each one of the listeners on Bestie Talk is you. Okay, we're all one and the same. So I hope you guys have a beautiful week ahead. As last episode, I talked about Dear Bestie Apothecary. I'm going to bring it up again. It launched this week, and I am so happy, and I feel just weight lifted off of my shoulders. I told you guys that I was going to keep you guys in the loop of, I'm just stepping out in faith, and that's literally what I'm doing. And it feels really fucking good to not be scared of who I am anymore, and just be out in the open of like, hey, I'm spiritual and I do spiritual shit. So I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to be myself and fucking celebrating it. And I hope that I can inspire you guys to do the same thing. And if you are in need of spiritual guidance, readings, cleanses, all of that stuff, you are more than welcome to book with me. I'm going to have Miranda link everything down below with the website and all that good stuff, so you guys can shop Dear Bestie Apothecary and all of the good stuff. I'm really excited. We have our permanent trio of oils that will always be, in the catalog. It'll always be there, but I have special ones that are coming out, and I have this one that has been brewing since August, and I am so excited for this oil to launch, you guys, because it's a good one, and once it's gone, it's gone. Like, I can't make it again because it's got some special juju in there. So keep on the lookout. Make sure you are following, either Kianna J or the Dear Bestie Apothecary Instagram to be able to hear about it when it launches. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next week on the next episode of the Bestie Talk podcast. Bye.